I've actually been trading for 19 years on and off. I started with like an OG prop firm. So it was down in Santa Monica, California. We had to get up at 4 in the morning. We went down there and there was 100 guys in flip-flops, and it was just an incredible feeling.
And I always say this to people who trade now. I'm like, you don't know how lucky you are. Back then, you had to pay for the education, go there basically as an unpaid employee, trade simulated for like a year, and then finally they'll open up some kind of, it was ridiculous, but you got there in the end. I would love to know just a little bit about your experience with Ola Prime.
Like I said, I trade probably like 15 different props at the same time, and you guys are one of the only two that paid me out like immediately.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Trader Stories podcast here with Ola Prime. Today we're joined by Brian from Houston, Texas, who has a $150,000 funded futures account with us. And get this, he's had multiple payouts, I believe 6 payouts totaling a grand total of $16,000 plus, so he's done incredibly well. Brian, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear. Brian, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get into trading?
Sure. The short version, I guess you would say, I've actually been trading for 19 years on and off. So
Cool.
last year, I kind of was able to turn on the burners again and mostly be really much more focused than I was the first 19 years. So yeah, I don't really,
Gotcha.
19 years, but it was more like traded for 3 months, lost my account, had to save up for a year, do it again. So that was kind of what's been happening to me for the last 19 years. But this last year has been amazing. So yeah.
Amazing. So when you started, did you start with futures as well, or was it like I don't know, options, stocks,
I
forex?
started with stocks originally, and I started with like an OG prop firm. So it was down in Santa
Yeah.
Monica, California. We had to get up at 4 in the morning. We went down there, and there was 100 guys in flip-flops, and it was just an incredible feeling. And it was just stocks where you would have to just pay you would put whatever you had. So I think at the time, probably like 2006 or something, I just had like 5 grand saved up. I gave him my 5 grand, and there was a risk guy in the back room that said, okay, you hit your money and it's time to re up, and that's it. So that's kind of how it was structured. Yeah, that's how I started.
Gotcha. Amazing. You don't get many people who remember the old days of prop
Yeah,
firms, and now comparing it to the online prop firms is so different. And I always say this to people who trade now. I'm like, you don't know how lucky you are.
yeah,
Back then, like I started OG as well. Like you had to pay for the education, go there basically as an unpaid employee, trade simulated for like a year, and then finally they'll open up some kind of, it was ridiculous, but you got there in the
yeah,
end. Compared to now,
yeah. So
we're really
easy. Like,
blessed.
yeah. People have no idea how easy it is. Yeah, like, and with the software now and how many like you could trade 20 different prop firms and at the same time, it's just everything's so easy compared to how we had it when we started. Yeah, we sound like
That's
old
it.
men now, but yeah.
It's like no excuses nowadays. But
Yeah.
then again, the market, to be fair, is a bit more, I would say, tricky than it used to be. It used to be a bit more calm. It has evolved, but I guess it's ups and downs to both sides. But no, that's really awesome. And you mentioned in the last year you've kind of really started trading properly. And was that straight to prop firms, or did you trade your own capital?
Yeah, so I've mostly been trading my old capital up until about 4 years ago or something like that. I think started with the OG Top Step, like most people did, and then just kind of learned my way through them of how it was different than doing it on my own, learning rules that someone else has rules now on you. So you got to do it their way versus just your own capital. You could do whatever you want. So that was kind of my introduction about 5 years ago, I would say. And it's just been a lot of learning since then. I would say less on the trading side, which is ironic because I use the exact same system now, the simplest system that I learned the first week of trading, The hardest part is keeping up with all the rules and all the different structures with prop firms, and but the advantage there is just night and day. So I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. But that's awesome stuff. Is it possible you could kind of walk us through, what you would look for on a typical trading day? If you could share your chart, um,
Hmm.
quick breakdown of how does Brian trade? I'd love to see
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. I'm actually in a trade as we speak, so I'll show you my screen. It's probably not a good trade, so this is one of those times where you take a position that
Hey,
you really shouldn't be in, but you're in it. And so this is my Ola Prime account right now, and I'm actually down from a trade previously $200, and then the trade I'm in currently is $200. And I'm in three micro shares. But the reason why I say I should not be in this is not a normal trade that I would trade, is because it's top of the market. Like,
yeah,
but we're at historic highs right now, so I'm just looking for like a tiny pullback, nothing major. Last night was a huge crush. So what I look for, and the reason why I say I wouldn't normally be in this trade, is because last night I was in it perfectly. I took this trade, I took it up to here, I got out, and then now I kind of have that I missed out of
yeah,
the trade, and I want to try and catch it on my Ola Prime account. So I got in at literally the peak right now. I should be long, and I'm short, just trying to catch a short pullback. So ideally, this is like the worst setup I could get in. This is not what I would normally do, but it's a
yeah,
good example of how, even trading for 19 years, you know what you're supposed to do, but it's still difficult to always make that right
yeah,
decision. And even now, where I know like I totally shouldn't be in this, but I kind of have my stop set and I have my take profit set.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna
Let
ride
it
it
play
out.
out.
And if yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah, as far as like I guess answering your question on kind of the strategy that I use,
Hmm.
I think that's what you said. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah,
very simple. I don't trade with a lot of different ideas other than the way the market's moving is the way I try to run with it normally. So
hmm.
um, and what I usually do is I try to just stick to one chart. So a 5 minute chart is really all I try to look at. And the reason why is because if you keep it simple, you really could trade perfectly without it being difficult. Like if you look at this right here on this chart, I should have been in probably somewhere down here and just waited for my pullback, got in here, and then just rode it. It's not difficult if you're doing it right. But
Yeah,
I got a day job. I'm at my day job. So when I logged in, I was up here and I was like, all right, let me try and catch this pullback. So I tried to catch it a little bit. And so ideally, I just keep it as simple as possible. With a 5 minute chart is typically what I try to look for. I don't try to overcomplicate it with a bunch of different indicators. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't even know what this is. I mean, that's how untechnical I am. I use a 55 length um, moving average. That's literally
yeah.
it. And then that's it. So very
That's
simple.
incredible. I love
Yeah.
how simple you keep it, and it's effective because I've seen
Mm-hmm.
your stats, like you're crushing it. I mean, to the viewers as well, I'll just point out, if you look at your balance, you're 4K in the green on your account.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, yeah, we all take losses. Hell, I take losses all the time. I wish I didn't, but
Yeah.
it happens,
Yeah.
right? But you got to be immune to it. And I loved your kind of your personality here, where you're just, yeah, it's no big deal. You're not stressing. You're not constantly checking the chart. You're not pissed off right now, and it's just, it doesn't change your day. If you get stopped out, no big deal. You got your risk, perfect as well. You have, your maximum loss you're willing to take. It's That's the right way to do it, and you just chip away every day. You come back, rinse and repeat. Some days are good, some days are bad, but
Mm-hmm.
overall, you build up that balance, and then you get a payout, and you just come back again and do it again. So that's how you achieve consistency, and you're absolutely smashing it. And it just shows, so simple. Trading strategy. You keep it so simple. You're not overcomplicating it. You just stick to what works, and it works. That's the beauty of it. Um,
That's it.
So yeah, no, hats off to you. You're doing really, really well, honestly. Incredible stuff.
Thank
Um,
you.
Brian, I'd love to talk a little bit about Ola Prime
Uh-huh.
and your experience so far with us. How long have you been with Ola Prime?
I don't think that long. Only a couple months with you guys, if that. Yeah. So very fast. I got my first payout really quick, which is one of the amazing things about how you guys are structured. So easy to get payouts so fast. The Ola Prime structures, it just there isn't a ton of rules. It seems very trader supported. There's not a lot of like loopholes you have to try and jump through, like some of the other props where they have. Every prop's going to have rules. It's just how they're structured. It is what it is. But there's a lot of props out there that have like gotcha. I call them gotcha rules, where it's like they're so hard to hit, and
Yeah,
Ola Prime just I don't feel has those. They're really just solid with the basics. So I love it. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's incredible. And with your payouts as well, because you've had quite a few now. You've had 6 payouts. So what was the kind of speed, from requesting it to to getting the money on average, would you say?
Really fast. Like I said, I trade probably like 15 different props at the same time. And you
Okay.
guys are one of the only two that paid me out like immediately. So super props on that. Yeah, you guys paid out. Super props to you guys on that as well. That's
That's
great.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
incredible to hear. And in terms of the future with you and Ola Prime, are you? I know you got the 150K account. Are you looking to get more and then copy trade? What's kind of the future
Yeah,
plans?
for sure. Definitely always want to maximize the amount of accounts that I have, and just the way that I try to manage my risk for the payouts is try to go. What's changed about me, I'd say this year for sure. The biggest thing is that I don't trade full size contracts anymore. So if you trade
Mm,
futures, I haven't traded, and I only trade one contract at a time. So I only trade MGC. I don't trade um,
yeah,
Nasdaq or ES or nothing. So when I trade MGC, like this is a big position for me. Three shares. I
three
don't even normally
micros.
do that. I
Yeah,
normally trade one or two, and then I just kind of take my time to leverage it out. So that's been kind of one of the secrets as well. Just trading super small, and then that way you don't have to stress about it. You know your numbers are going to be
yeah.
small, and you're good to go. Yeah. So
No, I completely agree, and I preach this all the time.
uh,
I always say, even on a 150K account, you should be doing micros, not minis.
yeah.
And people are like, yeah, but you can, it's fine. There's plenty. 4.5 grand loss sounds like a lot, but you can blow it so quickly with a few minis. So quickly, especially on a volatile day, it's gone. You stick to
Yep.
micros, you
Yep.
can have a few losing days in a row, no problem, even more than a few, and you can recover from it. But minis are very dangerous if you're looking for the longevity of trading. It can be dangerous. So you're absolutely right. When you switch to micros, especially on these prop accounts, that's where it makes more sense, and you're less emotionally kind of evolved in the trade as well. You're not stressing. Like if that was 3 minis right now, you would be. I think you would be a lot more, sweating a bit more. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why like just take it right off. No big deal. Yeah. So
exactly. No, great stuff. Brian, I know you have work to get to, so we'll leave it there. But thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me today on your very busy schedule. Always very appreciated, and for showing your strategy, the way you trade, and your story. It's been really enlightening to see as well. So thank you for that.
yeah, absolutely, Sam. I appreciate the opportunity with you guys. Yeah, Ola Prime's been amazing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And to all the viewers, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, join our Discord, do all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll be back with many more videos like this and a lot more other educational content on our channel, so do check it out. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ola Prime. Trade with transparency.